Who exactly would want millions and millions of strangers who don't speak our language or share our values wandering our homeland?
There it is, right? I mean, this is a openly fashy ad. We have to protect the nation from these others, right? This is just classic negative integration. I look at my hands, not at us, the scapegoats.
It's important to remember that borders aren't just lines on a map. Those invisible lines are the equivalent of having walls and doors in your home. Without them, anyone could just walk right in, eat your food, rearrange your furniture, even walk off with your stuff. Imagine the chaos. Your privacy is invaded, your belongings are up for grabs, and your entire sense of security is out the window.
This doesn't seem to be very closely analogous with a border, but we'll continue.
Borders define where our home ends and the next begins, ensuring that we can maintain order, manage our resources, and protect our culture. They tell others that here we do things our way. Without borders, we'd be in a world of chaos where nobody's safe to simply live in peace.
Yeah, because, the borders are what create the peace. Historically, there's never been any issues or conflict or, brutality or anything because of borders or border disputes or et cetera, right? Those arbitrary lines that we draw on the map, a known source of peace and order, those borders,
They're the rules of the game, the boundaries that allow us to coexist without turning the whole world into a free-for-all where might makes right, and the only rule is finders keepers. Now ask yourself.
It is funny though, because this is one of the more openly fashy ads I've seen Trump repost, right? But these people believe in might makes right. Their entire political ideology is about preserving hierarchy. That's what it's about. The whole ideology is the people who are in positions of authority and power are there because they earned it. How do you know they earned it? Because they're there. And that's the way it is. And whatever various, systems of hierarchy they prefer, or whatever mixture they prefer, that's what they're fighting to preserve, And they're willing to use force to ensure that they remain that way. So it's just funny to hear the might makes right thing from the people who made this ad. Yeah, because ultimately, when you strip away all the, phony appeals to security and, law and order and et cetera, once you strip away all that, what it ultimately comes down to when you ask these people, why is it fine for the state to separate families at the border and put them in camps, and string barbed wire along the border so mothers who are pregnant, die. Why is that fine? And then once you kind of strip away, all the phony appeals to law and order and all this other shit, it ultimately comes down to well, we're better than them, right? We're American. Real Americans. You know what I mean? And we're superior to them. So they don't deserve the rights that we have.
Why exactly would anyone want to open the borders that protect our very way of life? Who exactly would want millions and millions of strangers who don't speak our language or share our values wandering our homeland?
There it is, right? I mean, this is a openly fashy ad, you know? This is just, it's us versus them, right? These people are not members of the nation. They're not really people anyways. Hence why we're depicting them as the devil here, right? They're evil, they're lazy, they're crime-ridden. And none of that has to do with anything we've done. They're just innately like that. And we have to protect the nation from these others, right? This is just classic negative integration, you know? Don't focus on us, the Republican Party, and all the things we've done to fuck over our own population. Don't focus on any of that, you know? Focus on these out groups, these scapegoats that we're pointing out, and just invest all your anger and grievances against them, the scapegoats we've picked out for you, you know? Not at us. You know, look at my hands. Not at us. The scapegoats. And, you know, we'll come into power and we'll dominate them, and you know, you get to keep your little place above the scapegoats on the hierarchy. And then we'll continue to, you know, do all of our normal policies that fuck you over, but don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to the others.
The answer is those who seek to destroy our way of life. For the love of God, don't give them that power. Vote for President Trump and ensure that our beloved America, land of the...
Oh, yeah, it is like you're living in an alternate reality with these people too, right? Like the insistence on we have an open border is insane. It's insane. Like they just will not, like they just won't budge on that, you know? Now, like, there are genuine people who will see this and who will vote for Trump in November who actually think that we have an open border. Do I think any, really, of the Republicans in power think that we do? No, I don't think so. I think this is mostly a disingenuous political ploy by them to inspire fear in their base, you know, to make sure they get enough voters to the polls in November. But, like, dude, like, the Dems suck. Like, they kind of agree with you guys on the border. That's why Biden did an executive order passing the conservative border bill, the bipartisan border bill. And the only reason he did it by executive order is because Trump swooped in at the last minute and said, no, we can't do that. We can't pass this because then I won't be able to fearmonger people about the border, and I can't run without that. I have to tell people that there's an invasion happening, you know? Like, it's so naked. Their tactics are so naked. Like, they're not even... They know that they have, like, the Trump base. They have these people so brainwashed, you know? They're so deep in the cult that, like, they can just brazenly admit, like, yeah, we will actively not pass the border bill we want because we have to, like, fearmonger people about the border in order to make sure they show up to the polls in November. You know, like, they'll just openly admit it and they'll get away with it, you know, because it's a cult. And members of the cult, you know, don't dare challenge the divinity of the great leader, right? I fucking hate these AI ads too. This looks terrible.
The free and home of the brave survives. It's important.
Philly meme team. I mean, just amazing. Yeah. I mean, again, pretty openly fash ad, right? Like the only thing this ad would need is like, and you know who's insisting that they come across the border? Those others, the Jews. Like, if that ad had that, this would be indistinguishable from like Nazi propaganda.